Hey guys, Steve Young, your baseball mentor with Athletes Approach, Youth Baseball Mindset Mastery Group. Hey, I want to address this whole concept, this whole topic of what do you say and what do you do specifically when your kid has a bad game, or let's say I had a parent ask me, during the pregame, I noticed that my child, he's not very engaged, he's not very involved, he doesn't seem ready, doesn't get himself ready. There's all these different scenarios that take place. One of the scenarios that I want to talk about today is just how to address and how you approach the games that your kid has when it's frustrating. The games don't go their way. Their individual performance suffered. I want to talk about this from the perspective of the player, and I think it'll be very helpful and it give you some perspective of and some guidance of what you can say. When I remember experiencing this when I played. When you're playing a game that's chock filled with failure, and you're 9, 10, 11 years old, there's a lot of vulnerability that comes with that. So the first thing is think about things in your own life where you sense that vulnerability. Is it on the job when you have to give a report or you have to perform and you've dealt with that doubt, those doubts and all those things so that you can empathize with your child? And then the other thing to keep in mind is that, when they're playing and they're having a bad game, all of these thoughts and all of these doubts of, am I good enough? Do I belong on this team? Am I going to start next game? Am I going to even play next game? Am I going to be asked to come back on the travel team next year? There's all these things that are impacting and bombarding their emotions, and it's influencing their mechanics. It's influencing how they play. They are pressing and they're trying to do so much because they're really protecting themselves from embarrassment. They're trying to protect themselves from failure because of what they perceive that failure is going to cost them. They think it's going to cost them the respect of their from their teammates. It might cost them a starting spot. All of these things, and so at the end of the game, they need to recover from that. And so your job, your role, if you see it that way, your job is not to come in right away with critiques and advice on what they want to do. They need to have an opportunity, and they need to have an experience with you, their parent, of being reminded, if anything, or just having an experience where they questioned if they're good enough. They questioned who they are. Their identity was at stake at times. And your role now, you have an awesome opportunity to realign them, to realign their thinking, to reaffirm who they are, and to let them know that they have what it takes. They're going to be okay. It's okay. And I think if you approach those moments with that frame of mind and with their experience of, hey, they need to recover some things. They need to recover their identity. They need to recover some things that are true because they've been telling themselves some things that are probably not true. I think that's going to be really, really helpful and just provide, again, a good framework for how you can approach these conversations. All right, Steve Young, your baseball mentor with Athletes Approach. If this was helpful for you at all, please share it with other parents, and I'll see you soon.